I'm going to grab one of these, bring it over here, and put it in the fire, burn the glockets off. No need to chop the ends and the tops off because it's going to be strained anyway, as long as you have a good enough blender. If you don't have a press, you can boil a sock, take a pantyhose, and let it strain out through that. We need something to initially strain it. Alright, now we're pressing it out. Can the juice, just so I could use it whenever I was ready and didn't have to worry about it fermenting on its own. Alright, before you mix up anything in the primary fermenter, you need to take this Easy Clean. It allows you to sanitize everything without rinsing. And then once you have that done, you take the 12 cups of prickly pear juice, and then you take 1 1/4 cups of raisins, chop those up in a food processor, and then you'll add 2 pints of distilled water. So don't use water from the tap because it could give your wine, the final product, a funky taste, or it may not turn out at all. And then you take 2 pounds of sugar. This bag here is exactly 2 pounds. And then once you have that done, then you take the acid blend. So you'll have to purchase an acid blend, and that's 2 tablespoons of that. And then you take 1 tablespoon of the pectin enzyme, and then you take 3/4 tablespoons of the yeast energizer. I have a yeast nutrient, and that works as well. But if you have a yeast energizer, that would work better. And then you crush up one of these Camden tablets as well after you get it all mixed together. And then you let that set for 24 hours, and then after 24 hours you can add the yeast. So I haven't gotten to that step yet, but once it sets for 24 hours, I can add the yeast, and I'll put that in a separate cup and let it set for 15 minutes, and then add it to the final mixture and let it start fermenting. Stir it up, then we'll add it to our mixture and let it start fermenting in the primary fermenter. Everything's been sanitized. This has been sanitized. This cup here, and what I'm going to stir with has also been sanitized. And with the prickly pear juice. Good, get that. We'll stir that up too. I'm going to check the fermentation and stir it a little bit, and also check the specific gravity. Oh yeah, definitely fermenting. As you can see, it's still fermenting. This is only 24 hours after we've added the yeast. So I'm going to give it a stir. So I've sanitized everything I'm going to use today, and after I stir it up, then I'm going to try to take a sample and get a measure of the specific gravity, the starting specific gravity. And so that way I can kind of get an idea of the alcohol content it's going to be in the wine. So we'll get a first reading, and then the second reading will be our very last reading, and we can tell how much, based on the difference, how much alcohol is in the wine. I'm going to stir it first. 1.05, and we want it to be 1.0 when we get ready to rack this into our secondary container. And now I'm going to siphon it and rack it in that bottle. So I got all the stuff strained. I'm hoping I still have a gallon. I don't know, but because I need it to fill up. I don't want too much airspace in there, or otherwise it can make it oxidize, taste funny. I'm pretty sure I still have a gallon. If not, you can fill it up with your favorite wine and get it close. Here I am in my closet. And so wine bottles were too expensive, so I just went and got some of these smaller jars. I also have these quart jars, which all of that is a gallon. And I don't have much left here because I've been giving it away. And there's my prickly pear wine. So I I re-racked it into these jars after secondary fermentation. So I did primary fermentation in the bucket, then I went to the jug, the gallon jug, did the secondary fermentation, and you're also going to have some sediment even after secondary fermentation. And so then I put it into these jars and made sure that the sediment stayed over in the gallon jug.